everyone, and welcome to Write This Moment, the podcast where we share our writing journeys through every chaotic moment.
We're your hosts, Peyton
Brittany.
and today we're going to be discussing imposter syndrome, which I think just about everybody can experience in all walks of life, unfortunately. But we're going to specifically address how it hurts us in our writing journeys and how it can be like a huge block. I know it's blocked me personally for the past several years. It's been one of the reasons that I have not gotten much done. So, we're going to discuss that, and we also have some pretty big updates about what's going on currently with our writing projects. So, I think we should just go ahead and dive into that segment because
Yeah.
there's some interesting things to develop. So, I'll just start because I'm
Yes.
pretty excited. So, I did finally finish my first draft of Ghost Book. So I'm super
Yay!
excited. Thank you. Thank you for the claps.
You're welcome.
Like we need the applause, applause. But it's it was around rounding up 59,000 words, which was shorter than I initially thought this draft was going to be. Like when I
Mhm.
first started, I was anticipating like 70,000. So, it's getting there, but then, like halfway through, I did say, like, I think this is probably gonna be around 60,000. And I ended up being right about that.
Yeah.
But I have not finished the first draft, like, since high school of like a full length, like, thing.
Mhm.
So it's kind of weird. I was talking about it because I did it last night. Like, this was
Yeah.
very recent, just happened. And I texted Brittany and I was like, honestly, I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Like, like you work up to this moment because if you look back, I started drafting this November of last year. I was this time last year I was still outlining it. So I spent a couple months outlining it, and then I've been actively drafting it. Well, I'll say I've been on and off drafting it. There's been some months where I've like barely done anything, and then
Yeah.
like past 2 months, I definitely put in a lot more work into it. So if I was able to be more consistent, like across the months, this definitely could have been a lot shorter, but I got life going on. So
Yeah.
I'm
I'm so
honestly
proud of you.
impressed. Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
impressed it even took just a year, to be honest, because I had a lot going on, like with some health issues like that I wasn't anticipating, started my first full-time job. I moved. Yeah, I did move. So that's always like a mess.
Hmm.
And I don't know, just trying to like have a life. It's hard to balance all of those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just building up to this big moment, and suddenly last night I did it, and I was like, I feel the same. I'm the same person.
Did you write the end?
I didn't. I feel like I should have like put
Yeah.
that in my vlog. I can always go back.
Yeah, because I feel
But
like that adds like the tone of finality to it. But yeah, ending a book sometimes can feel very anticlimactic. It's like, oh, like you're expecting like a big like celebration to go off or something when you finish, but it's just like,
yeah.
oh, like I guess that was the last line. And I've had
Yeah.
times before where like I don't know what the last line is gonna be, and I just write a line and I'm like, oh, I think I'm done. And then I just kind of sit there and I'm like, okay, what
It's an
now?
odd experience. Like, and I knew I was writing the last line when I was doing it, and I just kept erasing it. It's probably not sticking with what it is, but I had like an epilogue that I had kind of been picturing. Because, my book is very dark and depressing. It is a paranormal horror. My characters are investigating a string of murders that relate back to this demon that's been following my main character throughout her life. And it's a lot of sadness. Like, there's people in her life who have died because of this demon, and like, it has just brought a lot of terrible memories to her. So, she goes throughout a journey, like trying to come to terms with her past, and it's not a good time for her most of the book. There is some nice moments because she is rekindling a friendship and also rekindling a friendship to romance. So there is some nice moments in there, and honestly, I'm gonna pepper in a lot more of those. Like this draft is probably gonna get like 20,000 more words because I was envisioning it being like 80K, but we'll
Hmm.
see. But so many scenes need to be added in general. And I think some of that is I need some happy moments. Because this epilogue I was writing, it was, I'm not gonna spoil my whole book, but like it had a happier note. I would hope, let's have something end maybe with hope.
Hmm.
So it was strange. It was strange to write that. And I don't know. Last line, I was just like, what? Like this is the end. Low-key, it was kind of like it was a romantic scene. So it was kind of spicy, like
Spicy.
not in the sense of what we know spice to be, but like for this book, it was a little spicy.
Yeah.
So, which
Interesting.
I think I will have a lot more fun writing those in. Because I did buy like Romancing the Beat, which like this is not a romance, but like
Yeah.
I definitely need help to put whatever to make their romance like make a little bit more sense, even if it is a
Yeah.
side plot. Like I want it to be something people can root for and like be happy about by the end of it because spoiler, they end up together.
Yeah. That's so
You
exciting.
know? So, damn, I don't even know what to say. Like I'm just overwhelmed
Yeah.
by like how this opens up a new chapter of my life, like revision mode.
Revisions.
I know this is like a new journey. Like this today is a new day.
Yeah.
Like I might be a year from now still dying revising this book, So the first draft took forever, but I'm like I'm entering something that's probably going to take even longer.
Yeah. You're like entering uncharted territory for you.
I know, because if anyone hasn't listened to our podcast before, I have been notorious for writing things and then not like revising them really. So for me to even be excited about revising it and to have active ideas into how to like make this better is a big deal.
Hmm.
Because in the past, I don't know, and I don't even know what was wrong with me because drafting
Nothing.
is kind of terrible?
It is. And I'm so glad that you feel the same. And I'm so glad, like, so excited to see your revision journey and see what parts of it you like gravitate towards and what parts you love.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a big learning process for sure. And my big plan right now, like I want to jump in because I already have ideas, but I'm trying to like at least stay away from it for a week.
Hmm.
And but a lot of this draft, like, I wrote some of that a year ago and I haven't reread
Yeah.
like it. So honestly, I probably would not remember like how those words went down, but I'll still give it a week?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna read through the whole thing and just identify all the places where, because I have an outline that, I struggle to follow. I always struggle to follow an outline, but there's some key things from the outline that I strayed away from that I no longer want? And then there's
Yeah.
key things that I do still want that I don't feel like I wove like in well, or I maybe introduced it for a second and then never brought it back up?
I've done
And
that.
it's rough to keep all of those things, especially this is my first time writing a mystery. That's another
Mhm.
deep dive. I want to do some reading on like writing like mystery and thrillers, things like that, because my book bleeds into that as well. I feel like I just have the most genre bendy like book right now, and it's kind of pissing me off because how do I pitch this? But I'm trying not to think about that right now. But like so many pieces of a mystery have to be so perfectly placed, like all of them do. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna identify all the places where I need to update and add scenes, maybe remove scenes, redo
Mhm.
the scenes, and really take notes of all of that. And then I will create a game plan on how I'm gonna go about that. Maybe tackle some of the easier things first
Hmm.
and then get to the more difficult, more time-consuming ones. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like
I'm
it's
excited.
weird.
I
Thank
think it's
you.
gonna be so fun to like document your journey, like properly revising a book for the first time and to like see how your process may like evolve over time. You see what works for you, what doesn't. Um, I'm excited.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely gonna have some hard moments.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm like bracing myself for that because there's just so many things that I'm still confused about, and I'm gonna have to like figure it out. And that's the hard thing about these books is figuring it out. The
Yeah.
plot. I feel like I'm good with my word choice. Am I good with my plot? Like that's my main problem. So, and of course, I chose to write a mystery, as I said. So, this is a very big challenge for me, like, definitely the most challenging thing I've ever written. Yeah, so I'm excited to see where this journey takes me. Obviously, you can follow along with this podcast, and I'm going to continue to update, and we're going to go through the motions together. And, what's interesting is Brittany is currently in revisions right now, and hers is super exciting as well because if you watched our last couple episodes, you know that she recently got a literary agent. So she's actually in revisions with her literary agent, and they're hoping to go on submission later this year. So, how is that going for you? Because I know you were away from this book for a little bit and you've
Mhm.
dove back in. So, how is it going?
It's going well, I want to say. So I don't remember where we were the last time we recorded. Was I still working on the ending?
I think so.
I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes I gotta rewatch the podcast before
Yeah.
we record because I'm like, I don't know what I last talked about. But basically, I got my edit letter from my agent, and the ending, like the last 80%, had the most revisions that we wanted to do. And so I thought, well, let me tackle that first and fix that up first because it was the hardest. It was a big chunk, and I'm like, it requires a lot of drafting of new scenes. So I'm gonna want the time to like come back to it with like fresh eyes so I can like edit it further. So I was like, let's do the ending first, go back to the beginning, read through the whole thing, see how it flows with the rest of the book, and then I can like continue to edit it when I get back to it. So I finished the ending a couple of days prior to my own set deadline because the overarching deadline for these revisions is October 10th. And then I decided to break that down into smaller deadlines. So I gave myself the deadline of September 22nd, I think, for finishing the ending. I think I gave myself about like 2 weeks to do it. And I finished a couple days early, which was really nice because then I took a couple days off to just kind of chill.
Mhm.
I've been taking these revisions very seriously. I'm like, I have to write
Good.
every day. I don't know why. Like, I haven't written every day, but I've written most days this month. And I'm feeling it. I am tired.
I bet.
Yeah, especially after this past week, 'cause I also worked 5 days, which I'm not used to. Normally, the max for me is 3 days a week. But I think we're getting closer and closer to the holidays. I think also because people are in school and I am not, that I'm one of the people who are available all the time.
Yeah.
So I had 5 shifts this past week. And so doing that and writing and life things, it's been a little overwhelming. And I'm not gonna lie, my chores have like fallen to the wayside. Like I've got laundry just sitting on my bed
I feel
that like
you.
I've ignored.
The
And every,
chores, the dishes, and the laundry, like they're the death of everybody, I feel like.
mhm. Yeah, every time my dad comes into my room, he's like, "What's going on here?" And I'm like, "Sir, I simply can't." I also have like boxes from my Halloween decor still sitting in my room. I'm just
Hmm.
too lazy. I got my suitcase still from my PEI trip from in August sitting in my room because I'm just too lazy to carry it downstairs. It's ridiculous.
It's
Anyways,
hard.
it's so hard. But yeah, so I finished the ending a couple days early, and then I went back to the beginning, which was so exciting. Because the end of the ending got a little bit tricky for me, because I had like been focusing so much on Christopher's POV. I didn't even say what book I'm working on if you guys haven't been
Yeah.
listening. I'm working on my book What You Mean to Me. I'm actually wearing a sweater that our friend
Oh
Kit made for
yeah.
me.
I love
So cute.
it.
The details of like the camera and the microphone coming together in a heart makes me want to cry. I love it
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
adorable.
And I wore it last night when I came home from work, and then I was like, you know what? I have to wear this for the podcast. So thank you,
Yes.
Kit. We love it. Um,
Yes.
very much appreciated. It's in this beautiful purple. Anyways, I like to wear it when I'm writing as like inspiration. So I'm working on my book, What You Mean to Me. It's a young adult romance and it follows my two main characters, Maisie and Christopher. Maisie is an aspiring concert photographer. She's just graduated high school and she is interning at this music magazine and she's hoping to make it a full-time job by the end of the summer to kind of avoid going to college like her parents want her to. And then Christopher is this huge pop star, and he's currently embarking on his first solo tour, kind of near the end of the North American leg. And he's coming to do a hometown show for the first time since he left his band, filled with his best friends, and since him and Maisie broke up and they end up being thrust together when Maisie has to photograph his concert, and then she ends up having to get an exclusive interview with him for her job. So they're kind of thrust together for the day, and he realizes that he still loves her and wants her back, and it's this whole story. So I'm obsessed with it. But I had to add so much to Christopher's story at the end because the ending was a little bit rushed and I kind of just like went over things and I was like, no, I've got to actually show some things that are happening here. And so I expanded a lot of Christopher's, but not so much of Maisie's. And as I was working on it, I'm like, I feel like I've been in Christopher's head this entire time. And I'd gotten so familiar with Christopher's head that I was like, what happened to Maisie? Like, where is Maisie? So I had to go back through and I was trying to like split up some Christopher chapters with Maisie in between, and then it fucked up the timeline. So the timeline started to not make sense. It would be like days for Christopher, but still the same day for Maisie. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what happened to the
Dang.
timeline that you set up? Like, what are you doing? So I had to then go back through and like bulk up Maisie more to make it feel more balanced, which I was really feeling the imbalance as I was working. So I had to make it feel more balanced and I had to make sure the timeline made sense. So I had to shuffle things around and change things. And I ended up having to like cut some darlings, like cut some things that were like
Hmm.
originally there because they just didn't make sense anymore. And it was this whole thing. Um, so yeah, the ending got really, really hard at the end with all of these realizations I was having about timeline issues and balancing out Maisie and Christopher because I typically like to bounce between them every chapter. There will be a couple of times where there will be like two chapters of the same POV back to back if it warrants it, but I like to mainly have it going back and forth. And so I really wanted to make sure that that balance was still there while making all these changes. So I'm rereading it right now, and I think I pulled it off. I don't know. I'm getting to like
Yay.
the end. I have one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 chapters left. So we're gonna see how this goes. But anyways, I went back to the beginning and started reading it, and it's been really nice because I just recently got to the part where I was like revising the ending, so it was nice to see how they kind of flowed into each other. But I was really excited to go back to the beginning and like do the smaller edits that I had to do. Although I swear a version of my outline got deleted. And I don't know what
What?
happened because I was editing a writing vlog the other day and it was like proof to me because I felt like I did more to my outline when I got back to the beginning of the book. I'm like, I feel like there was more information here, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I was editing my writing vlog and I was talking about how I did like check marks if like a timeline thing like still worked or like I was adding in all these little extra edits and I'm like, I don't see these edits anywhere in my outlines. So I
Oh
don't know what
God.
happened. I don't know what happened. So
It
hopefully
disappeared.
yeah, hopefully there was nothing super important in there and that like my brain don't remember. But that's a mystery. I don't know what happened because normally if like word closes, it'll be like an auto saved version that pops up, and I swear I
Yeah.
didn't see anything. So I don't know
Weird.
what's happening. It's that is strange. So anyways, yeah, so I've gotten back to the ending now that I revised and have been making some edits. I might need to go back through again to bulk up descriptions because I'm feeling like it's lacking still. And I want to make sure I'm avoiding white room syndrome and things like that. And so I need to make sure I go through it again. But almost to the end, I'm hoping to finish it today, tomorrow. I
Yes.
don't know. It kind of depends, but maybe today or tomorrow. And then I need to go back through and just confirm a couple of things with Maisie's college plot line because I changed something in the beginning, but I couldn't remember exactly what I did. Um, and then I kind of just forgot about it as I was like editing, and I was
It's
like,
relatable.
oh, yeah, I was like, oh, what did I say at the beginning, and what am I doing here? And I feel like that might have been one of the things that was like in the outline that somehow mysteriously disappeared. So, because there was no mentions of it really in the like outline that I was going off of. So, I need to figure that out. So, I do need to do a pass where I just focus on her like college stuff. I've been like highlighting things in yellow to like make sure that like I know that these are the things I need to come back to. There's a scene that I didn't finish writing in the end and I was going to try to finish it yesterday and then I was like I feel like a college conversation needs to happen here and I don't know what I should be saying. So it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess, but it's okay because I still have time until October 10th to get this shit
Yes.
done. Um, so yeah, I do have a few little things that I will have to go back through and read the book again and do more things. And I also need to make sure that Christopher's name usage is intentional, flipping between Christopher and Chris. I've been trying to fix it as I go through in things that I notice, but I still want to do like a find and replace situation where like I specifically am just focusing on his name and making sure that like the usage of it is intentional because it was very wishy-washy. And I think it was just because I didn't want to like say Christopher too many times. I'm like, why are you saying Christopher here? Like, say Chris here instead of Christopher. But there needs to be more intention behind it. So that's something that I need to focus on. But we're almost at the end. I'm feeling good about it. I definitely think the book has improved, which is good.
I'm sure it has.
I hope. I don't know. I think so. I'm nervous. I'm excited. Um, but yeah, it's nerve wracking because obviously I've never had an agent before. I've never had to like the only experience I've had of like revising a book based off notes and like giving it back to somebody is like beta readers, which is like my friends, and like that feels less daunting, obviously, than
Yeah.
giving it to my agent who's like, then we have to
Trying to
decide,
sell it.
yeah, like I'm like, ooh, like, is this going to be one of the last times I do developmental edits? Like, I don't know what the edits are going to look like after this. Like, I don't know if she's going to read it and then want to make more developmental changes or if we're just going to do like smaller things, like, changing the Canadian and American English. I don't know. I don't know. I have also been taking note of words that I know for sure are different in American and Canadian spellings. And I'm sure that there are some that I don't know, but I've been keeping note of that as well on a sticky note so that I know what words to look out for.
That must be annoying.
Yeah, I'm sad. Like we're gonna have two versions of it for when we submit to American publishers and then submit to Canadian publishers, but it's still depressing for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm really excited to read it again and see all these differences because
Mhm.
I liked the ending. So I'm like excited to see like what it has morphed into because
Yeah,
it
like
seems it's not so much different. It's just like fleshed out more.
yeah, so like the core ending is still the same. I've changed some things with Christopher specifically, like I said. Like I'm basically just adding more to Maisie to kind of flesh it out a bit more. Her story, the trajectory of it hasn't really changed, but Christopher, I've added a lot more. I've changed circumstances of things. I've clarified some things. And there's like something to do. How much do I want to say? There's like something to do with his old band that I've changed a little bit to make more
Interesting.
sense. So for all intents and purposes, it's like more or less the same. But I've definitely changed some things. I don't know. I'm very excited for you to read it. And do you want me to send it to you when I'm done these edits?
Yeah. I
Okay.
want to
Like
know. I want to
we haven't
know.
we haven't discussed that, but I'll send it to you. I was gonna send it to Kit as well because Kit hasn't read this book at all.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I don't know how that's happened. I also haven't sent
Oh,
it to
that would be
Alyssa.
fun. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, like it's mainly been you and like my writing group from Author Mentor Match.
So this will be a big moment.
Yeah. Like, oh,
Yay.
I want you guys to like all know what the book's about and like yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. I'm
Thank
excited to
you.
see. I'm sure it's like just that much better because seriously, I had like next to no notes. Like I was like searching for things to say.
Yeah. Nikki, my
I
agent, her notes are so good and like I feel like has really unlocked an extra layer to this book that I do feel like was missing. Like now that it's there and now that I've done it, I was like, oh, it was so lacking before.
Well, that's
Like it
good that she can
it
do that.
desperately, yeah, it desperately needed these changes. So thank you to Nikki. I know she's probably listening, so thanks, Nikki. You're a
Yeah.
genius, and I love you. Um, yeah, like it's the book is so much better for her notes and her edits, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I love this book, and I'm so excited.
Well, that's good. I feel like having an editorial agent is probably, I don't know, it would be my dream because, like you
Yeah.
said, like you already felt pretty good about it, but
Hmm.
now you realize like this just brought it to the next level and it wouldn't
Yeah.
be the same. So,
I don't think I
mm,
could have a non-editorial agent. That was very important to me.
yeah. Because I don't know, some people just won't catch it. Like me, like I was happy. I was
Yeah.
having a good time. Like, yeah. So she just brings out the next level. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
I think we should finally segue into the topic of today's episode, which is
Yes.
imposter syndrome. What does it
Hmm.
mean to us? How do we feel about it? What do we do to combat it? So
Yeah.
I feel like we're in different stages of our writing journey. So you obviously have an agent. I know you've been dealing with imposter syndrome throughout that experience when,
Hmm.
you're making the decision of the agent. And, I deal with it all the time too on just like literally just trying to write my first draft. I'm like, dang, should I even be doing this?
I did take the liberty to look up the official
Oh,
definitions of imposter
read it
syndrome.
to us.
Yes, I found two different versions that I would like to share. So, the first one is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills, which I feel that. Um, I think that one really hit for me when I was getting my agent. Um,
Yeah.
Feeling like I like lucked out, which a lot of querying and like publishing is luck, but I was like I conned her into choosing me. Like I
No.
and because of like the circumstances of like my friend like referring me to the agent, I was like, oh, like is it just because I'm friends with this person, which like is stupid
I'm
because
sure
an
if she
agent
didn't like it, she would not
no,
be doing all
like
this,
I
you
know.
know?
I felt the same way when I had my other friend refer me to her agent and she requested the full and I was like, would this have happened if it was not a referral? Because that same agent had like rejected one of my other books, which I also know it's personal preference. Like maybe that book just wasn't right and this one was more so up their alley. Like there were so many factors to it, but that's where my brain went. I was like, oh, it's only because I got the referral that they're requesting and like wanting to work with me. So yeah, and then like also having my offer and nudging agents and all of a sudden getting all these requests coming in, whereas before like the inbox had cobwebs in it. It's like, oh, it's just because I have an offer that you're interested. Like I've been feeling a lot of things. I've gotten over those a little bit more now that like I'm officially signed and like querying inbox thankfully is no longer a querying inbox. It's just an author
Yes.
inbox. But
Yes.
anyways, the other definition is the subjective experience of perceived self doubt in one's abilities and accomplishments compared with others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary.
Yeah, that's the one that I feel very connected to right now. I feel like they're both super valid, like
Yeah.
definitions that we kind of use interchangeably.
Hmm.
But for me, like something I wanted to note on for this topic was there was this huge gap. Like obviously I was in college getting my
Hmm.
little English and media studies degree. I can't even speak English right now.
Your little
Um
degree. It's not little. My
I
little
did
degree.
I know. I'm like I did I have this weird experience like I went to school and studied literature, but I still don't feel like that really gives me any like extra weight
Hmm.
with my writing if I'm being quite honest.
Hmm.
Like Yes, I wrote a lot of essays. I wrote a lot of essays. Like I just don't feel, like any better than someone that doesn't have an English degree, if I'm being honest. And if you're
Yeah.
making other people feel bad that they don't have an English degree, I mean, that's just stupid because
Yeah.
one, you don't need any qualifications really, like at all,
Oh,
to write a
none.
book, to get it published, to do what you're doing, getting an agent. So it's
Yeah.
like you literally just need like perseverance and resilience, and you just put the time in. Like anybody could truly do it.
Yeah.
So in my brain for years, imposter syndrome has impacted me in like a procrastination way. I'm like, I I'm always like, oh, well, I could do it maybe then. Or my work might not be as good as this person's.
Hmm.
And I don't know, just always kind of putting yourself down and like comparing yourself to other people's work. And
I did write
yeah,
down that comparison is the death of writing.
it is.
It's
That's
a
such a good
very
thing.
it's a very dramatic way to write it, but it is the death of writing. Like everyone works differently and at different paces. Everyone has things going on in their life that impacts things differently. Like for example, I did not go to school, right? I graduated high school. I had a part-time job at the time where I only worked 2 days a week. It was just the weekend, so I had Monday through Friday to do all of my writing and YouTube, but like writing was the main thing that I was doing. So I had a lot of time to sit down and just focus on my writing, and then like yeah, like someone who has a full-time job and school and like whatever, they're not going to have as much time to sit down and just write all day, or they're not going to have as much energy to write because you work and then you come home and it's like I don't want to work more, right? So it's
Literally.
like yeah. So it's like everyone has different circumstances. Some people have kids or like, other responsibilities that they have to deal with. Some people have multiple jobs. Like there's so many factors going into a person's like writing routine and the time that they have to dedicate to writing and all of that. And so comparing yourself to somebody else is just so silly, but we all do it.
It's so
It's so
hard
silly.
not to do it. Like, I think
Yeah.
we could never truly probably take that out of ourselves,
Hmm.
which it can be good probably in some cases, because,
It could be
you know,
inspiring, lighting a fire
yeah.
under your butt to get work done.
Yeah, because
So,
you see people, there's a lot of people that have kids and like full-time job and are still writing like several books a year, which I think is
hmm,
insane.
yeah,
Insane. And I know I'm probably never gonna be doing that, but
yeah,
it's like it is inspiring to see people really make the time for it, even when their schedule is even busier than yours. So
hmm,
that's been something important for me to take in this past year, is just like really making the time for it. Stop being afraid of it not being good.
yeah,
That's a big part of this topic as well, is like everything you write is not going to be amazing.
yeah.
So, and like no one's expecting that of a
Mhm.
first draft for it to
No.
be amazing. So, a big hurdle that you must travel over is like accepting that it's going to suck. And that's kind of like the only thing that unlocked me getting this draft finally done, like first time in so many years. And it was just accepting that it was a mess and not every line is gonna be beautiful.
Yeah,
And comparing, like you said, to full-length novels that are published and have had like 7 drafts,
yeah.
you know?
It's a video concept that I've had that is like not new or original, but I've had the idea to like maybe once my book is published and it's like the more final version of it to like compare like parts of the first draft to the final one just to kind of show the difference of like what a scene
Yeah.
can look like after multiple rounds of revision. Because like for Wim Tim, the first scene is the same. Like I didn't change where the book starts. I changed the opening lines and I like edited it heavily, obviously, but like the first draft of it, just based off my memory, has like no descriptions. I don't even remember what the first line was, but I'm pretty sure it was like really wordy. And I think it was Kaylee who suggested, because I think it stayed for the first two drafts, and then Kaylee read it, and I think she was like, "This feels like a little clunky. Like I think that we could change this." And then I think that's where the new first line came. So it's like everything changes and nothing is permanent until it comes off the printing press at a publisher, like you know.
Yeah. That would be a really great video. I would love to see that because that's like literally been one of my biggest like things for years is just like I just no matter what I was telling myself in my brain, I had to be perfect, you know? And I think perfectionism is like the enemy. It is the enemy because
Mm-hmm.
in imposter syndrome, I feel like we feel like an imposter because there's this idea of perfectionism that we probably could never reach, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta let it go. We gotta let it go. Like
Yeah,
keep working hard, but like I don't know. The comparison game is just
yeah.
gonna kill you. The death, like you said, it's the
The
death.
death of writing. I feel like imposter syndrome is also just like a sign that you care, and
Yeah.
like a sign that like it means something to you, because it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know how to like further elaborate on that, but like writing is like the thing that I care most about in the world. Like
You
being a
want to do
published
well.
author. Yeah, being a published author is all that I want. So like I think it's natural and completely normal to like compare myself to people who are doing it. And when I was trying to get an agent, seeing friends and peers online get agented, and I'm like comparing myself to them, like why can't I get an agent, especially when some of my friends and I start querying like at the exact same
Yeah.
time, right? It's like why can they get an agent before I can get an agent? And like jealousy and comparison is the death of writing.
Yeah. The death of writing, the title of the episode.
Yeah. I think sometimes you just gotta work with like blinders on. Like just look at your own page, like when you're taking a test, eyes on your own paper.
Paper.
Yeah. Like you're just gonna look at your own document, get rid of everything else, block everything else out. Nobody else matters in that moment but you and the story that you were
That
trying to tell.
page.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
document, your book.
Honestly, I feel like, and I hope I don't offend anyone when I say this, but if we weren't concerned ever about our writing and like if it's good or not, I feel like we've discussed this a lot. Like when someone really like worships their writing and like doesn't seem to ever have any issues with it, has no flaws, I feel like that's a red flag. Like usually you need to have like self-criticism to be able to like make the project better, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, keep that in mind. Like, it's good that you're able to notice your flaws, things that you need to work on, and then you will be able to work on it. If you're not able to, like,
Hmm.
see those things, I mean, what you gonna work on? You
Yeah.
know?
It is also important to have those moments where you do like your writing. um
Exactly, yeah.
I think it's a balance where you find things that you like, you come across a line that you wrote and you're like, whoa, that's
Oh,
actually pretty
yeah.
good. I wrote that. What?
Yeah.
I've had that experience where I'm like, that came from my brain. My fingers typed that. I don't remember that.
No, for
It's like
real.
it's like the writer monster like possessed me and just like did something, and I'm like, that wasn't me. I don't know where that came from.
Yes.
Have you heard Adele talk about writing music?
No.
She's like, I don't know where it comes from. I am a vessel. She's like, I'm just a mere
Oh,
vessel
I
for
love
these
that.
songs. Yeah. I think I watched an interview. I don't know what interview it was, but it was when her album 30 was coming out. And she's like, I don't know where this comes from. I am just a vessel for this music.
I feel like that's so true for like
Yeah.
all of us, you know, like Because, I mean, things just happen. Like when you have those aha moments, like it
Hmm.
is the most delightful feeling. Those times where you're literally sleeping and you wake up
Hmm.
and you're like, oh shit, I gotta write that down. Like it's the
Yeah.
best feeling.
Well, it's
So,
like when I was at work recently, and all of a sudden, like all these ideas for the
yeah,
ending were pelting me, and I'm like, I'm literally just trying to like stage some orders in the back room. Like, where is this coming from? Why am I being possessed by the writerly gods
strike a
right now?
genius.
Yeah, like I had texted you an idea like the night before or something, and you had finally gotten back to me. And then I was like, okay, but that causes this ripple effect, and I don't really like the direction that's taking. But then what if I do this? It's like that's a big change that happened in the editing as well. It came from this conversation me and you had.
I love that. I love that I
Yeah,
was there for the genius.
yeah. I was like I was just texting you, and I was like, but that doesn't work. But maybe this will work. But like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, this is what it's gonna be. And like that's just so exciting. It's like when you unlock it in the midst of like telling your friend an idea, like it just like spirals into like something completely different than like what you started it out as. Yeah.
Yes. No, like when we do the video chats that we've done, just talking through it, like the
Hmm.
light bulb moments
Hmm.
that wouldn't have occurred if we weren't like discussing it.
Hmm.
It's just beautiful.
Do you know how much I just like sit and talk to myself out loud?
It's helpful. Or just have like a
Very.
journal that you don't care if it looks messy. Like just write
Yeah, just like a
like
stream of
stream of
consciousness.
consciousness. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, like I often just sit and talk to myself and just like word vomit aloud, and then it helps unlock things. It's as if I'm talking to somebody else, but it's just me going through my own thoughts in my head. I know Alexa Dunn loves taking showers and like using that as like brainstorming, like something
yeah.
about the shower unlocks things for her. I've had that experience too, but recently I've just been listening to music and singing along. So,
I know some people go on runs. I'm not
mm,
athletic, so I'm not
um,
gonna do that, but I love the
yeah.
thought of it.
I would go for a walk if I wasn't afraid of the outside.
Yes. No, I feel that. I've been going on some walks with Keaton after dinner,
Mm,
just getting the good vibes in.
yeah.
And though I'm usually talking, so I'm not thinking about it. But I just
Yeah.
feel like the brain flows could really could
Like when
really
your
happen
body
on a
is like
walk.
preoccupied with something else, like you're just
Yeah.
going through the motions of something, it lets your brain wander. And I wish that I could go on walks, and maybe I just gotta build myself up to do it. But like, I feel like I can't go on a walk unless I have like a set destination. Like I have to be going somewhere. Like I can walk to the train to get to work, and I feel like I've talked about this before. I don't know if it was on this podcast or if it's like in a live stream or something. But like, I can walk to the train station to go to work, and like that's fine, and I enjoy that. But I can't just like aimlessly walk around my neighborhood. Like I have to have a plan, like an end game of where I need to be.
Could
Otherwise,
you
I
like loop around the neighborhood?
I don't know if that's enough. Something about it
Whoa.
stresses me out. And like I used to like I wanted to like try to build myself up to just like going to the 7-Eleven. That's just like a little bit up the street, but it closed. So I don't even have that option
Oh.
anymore.
Well, that's just rude.
I know so many of our 7-Elevens have shut down, and honestly,
The
it feels
Slurpees.
like a death. Yeah. The closest one is like by my library, which is like a 40-minute walk away.
Oh my God. Why
I
is
know.
this all about death? The
I
death of
know.
the Slurpee. The death of
God,
writing.
I could really go for a Slurpee right now.
Oh, I could always go for one.
Yeah. And like the thing is, my grandma was in the hospital, and there was like a 7-Eleven on the way home at that gas station, so we would always stop, and they had the good flavors. Okay, my
Mm.
trifecta, this is so off topic. My trifecta of a Slurpee is Coke, Orange Crush, and cream soda. Those are my
Whoa.
favorites. Yeah.
Whoa. I've never had all that together.
Do you just do one flavor? What is your Slurpee?
If I put them together, it's cherry and blue raspberry.
Interesting. I don't
But
like
I
blue
think the
flavored things.
Coke, really,
You know,
I
only
love
Sour Patch
blue.
Kids.
Wow. I love a blue raspberry slushy, like on its own.
My
That's one of my
sibling does too.
favorites. It's so good.
I can never do just one flavor. It has to be a combination of at least two. But my favorites, Coke, cream soda, orange. And the one by my house would very rarely ever have all those three flavors at the same time. But this one at the gas station for a while
Mhm.
now has had those three flavors. But now my grandma's out of the hospital and has moved into a care home, and we're no
Oh,
longer passing
the
the
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
I know. Maybe I'll see if we can go today because like my mouth
Now
is
we've been
watering
talking
for it.
about it. You gotta go get one.
I know. Maybe that'll
It
fuel
will
my
give
writing
you,
session.
that's what I was gonna say. Like, this will
Yeah.
give you the courage to finish what you gotta do.
Wow.
I
We've made a
finished what I
plan.
gotta do. Now it's your turn.
Now it's my turn. Yep.
And then you gotta update on it next time.
Yes. Oh my God,
Well,
where am
if
I
you got
gonna
the
be?
Slurpee.
Where am I gonna be the next time we record? Will I be completely done?
I
Stay tuned to
know.
find out.
I know. Look at you. Oh my God.
Only time will tell.
I know. I'm like super excited. It's fun for me because like yes, we text about it, but I get a lot more
Mhm.
details.
Yes,
So I feel locked in for the
me too.
experience.
I'm so excited. It's so exciting.
Yes. So we've chatted a lot about imposter syndrome. I do want to leave it off on a final note of like encouragement. If you are dealing with this issue a lot, if it's just impacting you frequently, if you're writing your first draft, like I have been this past year, what kept helping me is something me and Brittany kept saying, like view the book as the bones. Like the first draft is the bones, and then you can add in all of the shit later. So the muscles and the
The flesh.
organs,
Yeah.
yeah, the flesh, the skin, like all of that is every draft like in the future. So if you can just view it that way, like that's what helped me so much. Like you're gonna be able to edit the word choice. Like don't think so hard about that word choice. Like that just got me all twisted all the time. But today we thought it'd be interesting to add a new segment to this podcast. We really wanted to invite you, the viewer, the listener, to participate in this podcast. If you have questions for us that you would like us to answer, we want to add this little segment at the end of every episode where we go over like two or three questions and give our personal takes on it. So, today we have some interesting questions to start us off. And please feel free to leave comments on whatever platform you're using, and we will check out for those and hopefully answer your question.
So the first question is any advice you have for someone who always feels drawn to writing but feels intimidated slash overwhelmed by the process? I
Yes.
feel like this is good for you right now.
I know. I feel like I kind of touched on it throughout the episode, but like you just gotta freaking do it. Like we
Gotta
all
do
we
it.
all say like don't let the intimidation of what everyone else has accomplished keep you from ever accomplishing anything yourself, you know?
Mhm.
Like stop procrastinating because you're not gonna do it unless you do it. You know?
Yeah.
You have these dreams maybe in the back of your head of being like a book on a shelf one day, you know? I have that dream too, and who knows if it will ever happen, you know?
It
But
will. It
thanks, Brittany. But at the end of the day, the love and joy should be in the writing itself and like the
will. Hmm.
stories that you're able to create and like the therapeutic nature of just being able to get these feelings and emotions that you probably experience in your actual life into the work that you're creating. Don't let the idea of the future impact your present. Like if you're so focused on what the would and could, like you will never do. You will never do anything. And
It's
yeah,
so
you just
funny.
have thank you. Thank you.
What a
You have
quote from
anything to
Peyton.
the would and could. I don't know. The would have, could have, should have. I
Yeah.
love that song.
Good song. I think my advice would be to maybe not think of it as, setting out to write a whole book or, thinking about the publishing, like you said, like don't think about like the future of it all, but like look at it in like smaller, more manageable size chunks. So like maybe if you want to outline, just because I'm an outliner, just be like, okay, I'm just gonna brainstorm. I'm just gonna, put all my ideas out there. see what comes of it. Just write an outline. Don't think about writing the book. Take it, just one little step at a time. So just focus on like the outlining. And then maybe once you're ready to like write, just take it like, I'm just gonna write one page. I'm just gonna write a sentence. I'm just gonna write one chapter. Like, don't think about it as, oh my God, I have like 80,000 words to write. Just take it
Yeah.
in small little chunks?
Yeah, that's good advice because it truly gets overwhelming,
Yeah.
which is what they said.
Yeah. Like, just put it into smaller chunks. Don't think about it as like a whole. Just like, set yourself a goal. Maybe, if you have like a word count goal in mind, like 80,000, and you have like a set amount of time you want to write it in, just, figure out how many words you need to write per day or per whatever, and then just focus on like that many words. Don't think about it as a whole entity that you have to create?
Yes. Well said, Miss Brittany and books.
The second question is not so much a question, but like a demand to to rank our favorite parts of the writing process from ultimate favorite to absolutely dread. Love the
Whoa.
dramatics of this.
Yes. For me, dread got to be the outline.
Ooh, okay, that makes sense.
I, as someone who has just been a pantser for most of my existence and who has desperately tried to put my shit into an outline and it never stays, you know? So it's so annoying for me because I know like whatever I'm writing is not gonna be what I'm saying it is right now, in the outline.
Mhm.
So it makes me mad. It makes me mad. So it gotta be it gotta be the most dreadful. What about
Okay.
you?
My most dreadful is drafting.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, it's no secret. It's my least favorite part of the process. I get so excited to do it, and then I start, and I'm like, oh, why were you so excited about this? I love to say that I don't love writing. I love having written.
Yes, that's so
Yeah.
relatable.
I love to have written, but not the actual act of writing sometimes. There are good moments, don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't do this if it was like entirely miserable. But just, I don't know. I think it's because I draft so messily that it's just, I don't enjoy it. It's like pulling teeth. It's not fun for me.
It is hard, and I feel
Yeah.
like I'm eventually gonna have that answer too.
Mhm.
But I feel like it's not fair for me to say that because I have not fully revised a full-length book. So I don't have the full perspective.
That's
So
true. I didn't even think about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say because revision has always scared me, like I've
Mm.
just been no, I'll just rewrite the book again. Which
Hmm.
I guess is like you could say is revising. I know some people literally do that, like they just every draft they just rewrite the whole thing and it's closer and closer every time. For me, it wasn't. It was not. So I'm gonna have to say revision, but I think it will change. I have character development coming for myself personally.
Hmm. I see it. I see the vision.
But I've done so much drafting throughout my life that I feel like I can't put it there
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah. So for you, it goes bottom, outlining, and then revising and then drafting is your top? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it will be shifting, but I just don't feel like I can fully
Yeah.
say that with confidence until I'm really deep in this right now.
Yeah. Because, like, you've edited, like, short stories in, like, your novella
Yeah.
before, and you enjoyed that.
Yeah. But I
So you got
feel
a
like,
taste of it.
yeah. Yeah, but I feel like I was more focused on like the line level shit. Like I don't feel like I was really adding much to those things.
Yeah. Because it was so much
So,
smaller. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. We'll
Okay.
see how I feel in a few months.
So for me, then, my, like, middle of the road one would be outlining. I love like the possibilities of it, like putting all my ideas together and, having that story kind of form. That's where a lot of my like discovery process is because I do pretty strategically like follow my outline. Um, so I do love it for that regard. But then sometimes it gets really frustrating when like I can't figure things out, and then I get
Yeah.
annoyed, and then I'm like, it's done when it's not, and then I start drafting, and that only makes my drafting process more difficult because I'm not good at just like discovery writing. I need a plan. So outlining is like for me, it's very much the middle of the road. Like it just kind of
Yeah.
depends on the day, depends what part of the outlining process I am in. And then my top favorite is revision. I do prefer the part of revision where it's like later on, where things are a bit more settled and like it's not so much like the first rounds of revisions are really difficult because it's like you're taking that crappy first draft and trying to make it into something more readable and like not awful. So like I do prefer kind of
Yeah.
like later down the road revisions, like kind of what I'm doing now, like where I'm very settled in this book. I know the characters, I know everything that's going on. It's just a matter of shaping it a little bit more. But overall, I love revisions. It's so magical to like see the book transform into like something better and like the vision that you have in your head and to just like fix things and like to like really like dig deep and like see past what's there and like what could be there and I don't know, I think it's a very magical experience. I love it.
Yes. No, I feel I'm just excited to be in that. So, so excited. But I know it's gonna suck. Like you said, that initial like dip your toe into it, like that's
Yeah.
gonna be rough.
You have
It's
to like
gonna be rough.
pick everything apart and then like figure out like exactly what you need to do to like fix it and it's very overwhelming. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question three.
So this one is more directed just to me. So sorry, Peyton,
Yeah.
but it's the Brittany show now. Um, so the third and final question for this episode is, what is the number one thing that I learned from my querying journey? Oh boy, what a question. So I don't know. I was in the querying trenches fighting for my life for for 4 years and more, yeah, no, just over 4 years. And I think the number one thing that I learned was just to not give up, just to, that nothing is personal, nothing is, against you or necessarily even against your book. Like, I did not get too many, like, personalized rejections, like, giving me constructive criticism on my book or anything, right? So it was, like, all subjective. Like, I think just not letting the rejections, because there will be rejections, to not let them get to you too much. They did get to me a lot of the time. Um, but just never like letting it get you down so bad that you give up. Like I kind of just held on to my dream of being a published author the entire time and like let that fuel me and like know that no matter how hard it got, like in my gut, I knew that I was never gonna give it up. Like I knew that I was going to keep writing and that I was going to keep trying until I died, like until it kills me. Like
Yeah.
I was never gonna give up, and I knew that. Um, and like I would oftentimes just like rant to friends or to whoever and be like, "Oh my God, this is so hard," and they're like, "Just keep going, like don't give up." And I'm like, "Oh no, like I'm not gonna give up. Like I'm gonna send more queries out in a minute. Like I'm fine. I just need to wallow for a minute, but like I'm good. Like I'm never gonna stop trying." Um, so just yeah, I think the number one thing I learned is just to keep going and to feel your feelings, but to like not let them completely overtake you. Like just, stick to that dream, stick to what you love, keep writing, not to the detriment of your mental health, but like just keep writing and keep working towards the next thing. So that you can one day accomplish your dreams, you know?
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I feel like I've always believed like the people that are successful are the resilient people.
Mm-hmm.
So you just can't give up. And also, I feel like some people put a lot of pressure on getting published young. Because, I mean,
Yes.
you're 25. That's not old, you know? And if you put it into perspective, like one of our most popular authors out there right now is Leigh Bardugo. She didn't get published till she was almost 40, you know?
Really?
Yeah, she's 37. I just Googled it the other day.
That's
37.
crazy. I didn't
And
realize she was like,
watch her TED Talk. I
I was
recommend
going to.
everybody.
It's in
It's
my watch later.
very it's very connected to what we've been talking about today because she talks about how with art there is discomfort. Like you have
Hmm.
to have this process of the messiness to
Hmm.
ever create something good. And
Yeah.
she discussed like 'cause she went to Yale, you know, and
Whoa,
then yeah,
that
she went
makes
to
sense. Sorry.
Yale. Yeah, with ninth house, but
Yeah,
she
that
went
makes
to
sense.
Yale and she said I it wasn't till like 10 years after that that she actually like had a book out. And it's because she, like me, like just wasn't doing it for a hot second, like
Hmm.
was not actively making it a priority. So, one, you are never too like old. And I think I feel like why is there so much pressure on being like 20
I think it's
and
just
like
like I think publishers like to market it like, oh my God, like this 19-year-old got like a seven-figure deal, and it's like it just sounds impressive. So I think that was just kind of like the hot thing to do. And I definitely felt that pressure to like get published young, not only because of like it being like the popular thing to do, like, oh, how impressive, you're so young, which I feel like is an issue in all like kind of
yeah.
industries, but also just like the pressure of life and like not to like get really down. Like when I started querying, like my grandma was going through some like scary health things, and I like all of a sudden became very aware of the fact that people in my life were getting older. And so it became a huge fear of mine that I was like, what if they're not around to see
Yeah.
this? So like I felt this
Yeah.
huge, immense like pressure and like this desire to like just do it and like have it be done so that the people that I loved in my life could witness it.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
not
makes
gonna lie, like
sense.
that's still something on the top of my mind, even though like unfortunately both of my grandmas aren't really in the state to like fully appreciate or understand it anymore. So
Yeah.
like my fear kind of did come true. Like they're still here, but like are they really fully here? So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I did not mean to
No,
get
like that's a
out like
that's
that.
a valid point. Like I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. So
Yeah.
that is tough. The whole thing is tough.
Oh, I hate things being out of my control.
And now, thank you guys so much for joining us again for another episode. It was really great chatting. I hope y'all enjoyed. And we'll be back talking more about our projects, our goals, everything going on with us. So, yeah. So long, friends. Oh my God, that was
Bye.
great. Bye.